And we're here for another edition of ProBoxing-Fans.com's The Fight Corner. I'm here with Jermaine Perry, and this is Evan Smith. Enjoy this week's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of ProBoxing-Fans.com's The Fight Corner. I'm Evan Smith, and I'm here with Jermaine Perry. And it's fight week. You ready?
I'm ready. Are you excited? I'm pretty excited.
I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be a good fight, and it's finally one of those fights that the fans got, on time. So, looking forward to that one. Now shifting gears once again. Your guy, Bernard Hopkins, Philadelphia man.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Now you think that he should retire? Is that what you're telling me?
I feel like it's here. The time is here.
I think I'm a proponent of if he can keep winning, why not, man? Stay in there. He's not losing.
So I give you. So if he win this fight and fights again, win that fight, fights again.
Keep going.
So what? 60?
Yeah, I mean, if he's not gonna lose.
Oh man.
He might fight Don Stevenson soon.
No. I don't think Bradley's gonna get knocked down. I'm thinking Pacquiao.
Pacquiao's gonna get knocked down.
Pacquiao's gonna get knocked down.
I don't see it. I think Bradley lacks the power, and I just don't.
Maybe. I just feel like Pacquiao might come into the fight with feeling like he has too much to prove and
get over aggressive
and get left open again.
A little bit Marcus. Is that why he said 6th round? Okay,
right.
All right. I think Marcus has a little bit more power than Bradley,
right.
But
it's
Bradley's
still boxing. It's still boxing. It's still a punch.
It is still boxing. So, what's your overall result? I say Pacquiao by TKO in the 9th.
Not at all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. I don't like to agree with you often, but when I do, so I might disagree with you on this next fight though. Broner versus Molina. Now I know you're kind of a Broner fan, but he lost that last fight.
Broner fan.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
so how do you see this one playing out? He's fighting Carlos Molina. He's moving back down to 140. He's still got Broner's hasn't been humbled yet. He's still kind of cocky. Moving back down to 140. He kind of skipped that before.
Smart move because that shows he was so into himself that he just skipped the whole division.
Right. I know he's fought guys like Corrales. He's fought Gotti. He's fought the big punchers in the past. He fought Alvarez last. I think Maidana's one of the biggest punchers he's probably faced, and if he gets caught, if he gets a little bit leaves himself open at some point. Now that's rare for Mayweather, but we saw in the Mosley fight he got caught a little bit, or even the Zab Judah fight. Maybe you look for it only takes one punch.
I mean, it's still boxing.
I think Maidana has that style. He's a little bit awkward, not as awkward as a guy like Pacquiao maybe, but he does create some angles, and he has that really looping overhand right that might be able, if he can get Floyd coming in. Now it's hard to do, but that is Maidana's best chance of getting him on that overhand right.
He fights for the win.
Now I'm gonna be a little bit audacious, but I'm gonna predict. I think Mayweather's gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a split decision. I think it's gonna be real close.
Majority decision in favor of Mayweather, but Maidana gave him a lot of trouble. So there might be another rematch on September 13th, which is what many people are projecting, unless Mayweather opts to take Amir Khan, which is the other speculated opponent. Now Mayweather got in some trouble this past week when he fought rapper T.I. Over T.I.'s wife, Tiny. Now T.I. thought that Mayweather had some romantic affairs with her, which Mayweather claimed he did not. Now, the jokes have been circulating already that Manny Pacquiao should work at the Fat Burger so he could get the fight with Mayweather. So Amir Khan's opponent, just so everyone knows, if you don't already, Amir Khan's fighting Luis Collazo, who is he's a name a little bit. He had some big fights back in the day. Ricky Hatton, he fought Andre Berto, and he fought most recently, knocked him out, Victor Ortiz. But Ortiz seems second round, a big right hook, but. Ortiz really isn't benchmark anymore. I think he's kind of, he
lost
just
his
quit.
luster.
Right, exactly. So Collazo, calling for Mayweather after that fight, but he's getting the next thing. He's fighting on the same card as Mayweather for him, which is really good.
Which is big money.
Big money.
And I'm taking Cotto, even though the fight will be at the catch weight of 159.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, a little bit an advantage for Martinez in that case. And I'm going to take Martinez because I think his style, very awkward, very, that lefty, southpaw, quickness, got quick hands, quick feet. I think it's going to be a little bit like that Trout fight, he kind of got beat up a little bit, Cotto. He hasn't really fought anyone as, good as Martinez in a while. I mean, obviously since Mayweather, I would say. But, Cotto's got that experience, Martinez has got that experience. That's why I think it's going to be a terrific fight. I just think, this one could go either way, really.
It was a sad day in boxing. This past weekend where we lost Rubin Hurricane Carter at the age of 76. Very sad, racial injustice. He got arrested in 1966 for a crime he did not commit, and he was in jail for 19 years, which is,
he was done wrong.
Right,
And
right.
let him release him.
Right, and you can read his book, 16th Round, which is a great read. I've read it before. And, the Bob Dylan song, I believe it was made in 1975, dedicated to him.
And the Rams are at 10-8 overall and 2-7 in the PSAC.
To get the inside scoop on the team, we sent our field reporter, Evan Smith, to meet with one-on-one with standout player Tyler Schaefer. Evan?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with senior captain of the women's volleyball team, Tyler Schaefer. You guys are 10-8. You guys are coming off a tough loss with Lock Haven. You guys started off the season red hot. What was the key to your early success?
In the beginning, we had a lot of really young players, and we flowed actually really well, but due to some injuries, we had to readjust, and our lineups have changed so many times, but I think we're doing pretty well with it. Senior year, we can continue with that.
Great. I'm here with captain of the volleyball team, Tyler Schaefer. Guys, thanks a lot. Back to you. Of the Roberto Duran fight when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard the second time, and he quit after the 8th round. It was a famous thing that he uttered, no mas, and now when other fighters quit on their stool or just throw in the towel, that is usually referred to as no mas. So definitely check that out if you're a boxing fan. So we're going to talk a little bit of baseball now. We got talked about boxing. What do you think about the Pine Tar situation with Michael Pineda?
Put it somewhere else.
Right.
Why don't one of the
I mean,
better
he was
pitchers-
apparently going to take it off after the next inning. Girardi was going to speak to him because he found out. But, the umpires and John Farrell found out before they could do that. So, I mean, now it's going to be kind of retaliation. I think, when the Yankees see that, apparently John Lester might have done it. So when they see it, they're also going to come out hard and, try to do that.
But,
Right. I mean, I think, next year they're going to look into it. I mean, the game's kind of changing with, replay systems, and, they're going to keep evaluating interleague play more. So I think, next year you might see a difference in that. Because apparently all the teams do it. Like, the Red Sox players do it, but it's just...
They hide it.
They hide it. It's concealed. You can't be, putting it on your neck. You can't be putting it on your head. Like,
I don't.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Inside Pitch. I'm your host, Kenny Ayers, joined here by Evan Smith in the studios. Today we're going to be talking about the National League East and how they shape up in terms of their offense and pitching with some offseason acquisitions.
You got Harper, who's very fast already, young talent. Denard Span is a very fast guy. So anytime you have speed, they have the potential to steal bases, which is definitely a big impact for the level. I also agree with Jason Hayward's a young talent. He's also going to be very good in the lineup. And they're young, and I know they lost Chipper Jones, obviously a veteran player who key leader on the team, but look for the young guys to step up and really do damage. Look, if they're healthy, I think they have a decent shot at making a playoff run.
How big is the pickup of John Lannon, especially with the problems Roy Halladay's facing as a back of the rotation type of guy?
Right, yeah,
to bolster the rotation.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Anytime you get a good established pitcher in the rotation, I think you definitely solidify your rotation a little bit more, and that would definitely be a key to some of their pitching success if they do that.
Part of the elite, and then lastly, how about the Mets?
Well, for the Mets, I believe that David Wright, as long as he stays healthy, I think he will have a very good year. He showed a very good sample during the World Baseball Classic. He was one of the team leaders. And I would also look for Ike Davis. Ike Davis is going to be very good. His average was pretty low last year, but he did hit 32 home runs. So look for his power to make a big impact. And and Darno, if they call Darno up, and Matt Harvey. I would look out for Matt Harvey too. Had a very good year last year. Had a 2.73 ERA, and he didn't get the run support he needed, but he will definitely be a big impact guy.
Real quick before we go back to the studio, 1 through 5 predictions this year in the NL East.
I got the Nationals. I got the Braves, Phillies, Mets, Marlins. I'd say in that order. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Braves, Nationals, Phillies, Marlins, Mets, only because as a Phillies
nice.
fan, I can't do the whole Mets thing. I'm sorry.
You're in last? You got the Mets in last?
I got the Mets in last.
I mean, I was.
I know
being
you put the
generous.
Phillies in third. You were more
I was
generous.
being generous, yeah.
You were more
I was trying
generous.
to be more objective, but all right, we can do it that way.
That's all for today's Inside Pitch. We'll come back next week. We'll talk about the American League East and what they're doing. That'll be after opening day, so we'll come back then and we'll talk about the first week of the MLB season. Back to you guys in the studios. I'm Kenny Ayers alongside Evan Smith. Chapman.
Right, and Chapman, they got from Cuba a couple of years ago. He's been on the spot, came in the league, and he's been tremendous. He has an eccentric fastball, can dial it up to 100 miles per hour. Why don't we take a look here? Gets the fastball up to 100 miles per hour, blows away Ryan Howard. a dead red fastball hitter on a high fastball. And then he comes back, he has a tremendous slider, can get guys out with that too. So he's just very dynamic and he's very dangerous. I got a little bit different. I think the Reds are going to come in first. I think they just have so much versatility as far as pitching, hitting, defense, just the whole 9 yards. So they're going to be good in that department. And number 2, I'd say will probably be the Cardinals. They always sneak into the playoffs somehow. And for 3, I think the Pirates, then the Brewers, and then the Cubs. And with the loss of the Astros out of the Central this year, it's going to be a little bit different dynamic because those some teams see those as easy wins because they have been struggling in the past. So it's going to be a little bit different dynamic.
That just about does it for this week's edition of the Inside Pitch. We'll come back next week. We'll talk about the American League Central. For Evan Smith, I'm Kenny Ayers. Back to you guys in the studio.
He right now is
43 of 88 at bats.
43 of 88 at bats, and right now he's projected for 274 strikeouts, which would be a major league record. Hopefully they would bench him before that point, but not looking good. But Jose Altuve, as we were talking about before the show, he small, scrappy player, but he's batting .327, I believe, and he's just he's their bright spot right now for the Astros.